All right. We're on the freeway of the show right now. I see this rest stop over there. I'm going to skip that because there's no rest. All right. We're going to take the Shredville exit. And may I just add the victorious Shredville exit, an absolutely massive win for the UC Davis Aggies. And I am holding, thanks to Scott Marsh, voice of the Aggies, on your home of the Aggies, my Shredville hat, and welcoming in the mayor of Shredville, Coach Tim Plough. Good morning, Coach.
Boys, good to talk to you. How we doing?
Man, I don't know how you're doing. I'm doing great because I told you before, I absolutely hate that team. I can't stand them. And you guys took Idaho and sent them back to the potato farm. I don't know what to say. Huge win for you guys. Huge win for the program.
No doubt. I didn't even know until the game ended that that was the first time UC Davis had ever beaten a top 5 team. So it was a monumental win for sure for the program, but I'm just really happy for the players. I mean, they've worked really hard, and that's one of those special moments that they can remember for a long time. And hopefully, springboards this into a couple more.
Coach, I had a chance to watch the second half of that game, and I didn't see the first half, but it's anybody's game. But it felt like watching it, that kick return to start the second half seemed like a big shift. I don't know how it felt there, but what was that? What was it, Hutton's return in the second half? How big of a play was that?
That was huge, yeah. And a funny story is we've kind of run that return since the early 2000s. It's just kind of a fake reverse. And we, Coach Jackson, our special teams coach, put it in, and we put Lan Larison out there as kind of an up back, hoping that they would see him, which they did. And CJ fakes the reverse to Lan because everyone's going to follow Lan. And so we talked at halftime, like, hey, you want to start the second half with the fake reverse? Hell yeah, we need something to get going. So that was a great design by him and got us a big return because it was tough sledding moving against that defense. So that was huge.
So let me ask you this. You got a top 5 team coming in. It's 14-0 with about, 4 minutes left. Nate Thomas punches it in. And if you're watching on TV, if you're just somebody that doesn't know either program, you're thinking, okay, well, this looks like a top 5 team, 14-0. We're on pace for a blowout here. As a coach, what are you doing at that moment? Nothing? Just letting it go and trusting? Is there some psychological work there? What do you do? You're down 14-0 early to keep these guys in it.
Well, I don't want to get too coach talk for you guys, but I think for me, when it comes to like the mindset, we talk as a team a lot about if you have a negative mindset, never works, right? Like if you are just down all the time, and then if you have there's the positive mindset guy that's like, hey, we're fine, we're good, don't worry about it. I don't like that guy either. That's just fake. So we talk about just having a neutral mindset, which basically means let's just fix the problem. Let's have solutions and then move on to the next play. So when it's 14-0, I'm just trying to stay neutral and I'm trying to solve problems. And at that point, offensively, I looked at our O staff, got in the headset and said, well, we can't run the ball and we can't drop back pass. So we got to figure out how to move the football without being able to pass or run. And they all kind of chuckled on the headset, but we started figuring out a couple things to do to get the ball out quickly, let Miles do his thing, get a little momentum. We started using some tempo. It was, hey, let's just go fast, and they can't get lined up. And I got a little momentum. And then I think Coach Coombs and the defensive staff, same thing. Like, all right, well, we're struggling stopping this. Let's solve that and see if we can move on to the next play. And that's just all you got to do to try to get out of something. And I think the drive that we got right after that to make it 14-7, everyone just kind of took a deep breath and fought our way back.
Coach, you guys then find your footing and you actually built a lead and was looking pretty good. I'm always fascinated on decisions that are made, and when they work, everyone's like, what a call by the coach. When they don't, what's the coach thinking? Well, you decided to go for a 4th down later in the game. That was a big play. It didn't work at the time. You guys still won the game. I'm curious, when games end, how often are you looking back at what you did, whether it was right, wrong, and different, kind of the decision-making process of a 4-quarter game?
No, I think you're dead on. I mean, I love football, and I love thinking about those decisions and talking about them. And I've called plays since I was 25 years old, so I've called a lot of bad ones and some good ones, and so I'm all for the critiques. I would say that that scenario, we were up by 11. There's about 5 minutes left, and I think if you kick a field goal there and you get up 14, I don't really think that changes much. Like I always think of field goals like, does it change how many possessions they have to use to win the game? So we're up by 2 scores. If we make the field goal, we're still up by 2 scores. And I know if we get the first down and we can score a touchdown there, now we're up 3 scores. Now I think the game's over. So I'm going to always try to be aggressive in that spot and try to win the game. So I totally back the decision to go for it. I think that's the right move. I hate the play call. It's a terrible call. It's awful. But it was a play that we had practiced a bunch, and it was kind of a funky formation, and we knew that they would not line up correctly, and they would probably mess it up. And that's exactly what they did. Unfortunately, they messed it up in their favor. And instead of having 4-on-4 in our swinging gate, no one on their defense moved. No one knew what to do. And they had 11 guys on 4. And I should have called a timeout. As good as Lan is, 4 versus 11, he's going to struggle. And I should have called a timeout right there, and we should have gotten to a different play. But even my own dad was like, "Hey, if you would have kicked the field goal, you would have been up 31-20 instead of 28-20." And I said, "Yeah, but if we would have been up 31-17, they would not have kicked the field goal when they went down there. They would have gone for it on 4th and 3, and maybe they scored a touchdown. Now it's 31-24. So you can't really think about that. You got to just look at it from possessions, in my mind."
Coach, so now you play Portland State on the road. Portland State, if my math is right, I'm not making this up. I think they're 0-4, and I think the cumulative score is literally like 200 to 60 so far that they've been outscored. Like they have been blown out in pretty much every game. And if I'm looking at the schedule right, Coach, too, weirdly enough, this is their first home game. It shows they had a home game against South Dakota that was canceled.
Yeah.
Everything else has been on the road. So kind of a weird late home opener, if you will. You have a huge win against Idaho. You're now playing a team that has been getting rolled all year long. So is your mindset a little bit of, guys, let's not trap game this thing. Let's play these guys like we're playing Idaho again?
Absolutely. You're making me nervous just talking to me about it right now. But I think it's one of those fun things about coaching. It's also nerve-wracking, but I had the game ends. I'm looking at my phone the next morning. There's 200 plus text messages. One of the text messages was from one of my mentors who's a part of the Davis coaching tree. And he sent me a text, "Hey, I hope you're ready for the longest week of your life." And what he meant is the same thing you're talking about, is this is going to be difficult. And that's what makes coaching fun is you're trying to keep your team in the same mindset of, can we just focus on us and our process and ignore the outside noise? Because last week the noise was, you guys have no chance to win. You're going to lose to Idaho. Don't even show up, kind of a thing. And now the outside noise is, you guys are amazing. You're going to kill this team. And so either way, if they could just learn to focus on themselves and just try to get better. Because I still think, guys, we have not played our best football. We made a lot of mistakes in that last game too. And I just want them to play their best. So I just keep trying to tell them, let's just get better, try to play our best football. And going on the road in the Big Sky, I don't care who you're playing, is tough. Since 2000, the winning percentage is like 30% on the road. So, it doesn't really matter who you play on the road. It's going to be tough. So we might as well have a great mindset, go in there and play our best. And hopefully that's enough to beat the Vikings.
Yeah, I would think, Coach, just based on that, what you're saying about mindset and trying to have the guys have the right approach, this week's got to be tougher. I mean, I feel like everybody kind of can rally around the underdog role a lot easier than that favorite role.
Guys, this is the worst. This is the worst. It's the hardest by far. I mean, school's just getting started. It's only been going for 2 weeks, so they got that going on. And now they got everyone telling them how great they are. And we're playing a team that on paper everyone's saying we should win. That's really difficult. And I think the only thing that I'm trying to explain to those guys is, man, you worked so hard and you did something amazing and you've really set yourself up to have a great chance to do some cool things this year. Do not let go of the rope. Like, hold on to that thing as hard as you can and stay detailed and stay focused. Because, boy, if you can get on a good run here, that win against Idaho can really help you down the road. But if you lose your focus and let go of the rope, that win's not going to mean anything. And so I hope they can do that. And I know as a coaching staff, we're trying our hardest to keep them focused and keep them, with their eyes where they should be, which is just on themselves.
As we wrap up, Coach, just a quick personal story. When I was in 4th grade, I was second place in the spelling bee in elementary school. And the reason why I believe I didn't finish in first was because the judge actually said I misspelled a word wrong that I got right. It was on tape. And that judge was Victor E. Viking, the mascot of Portland State, who you guys play this weekend. It's always personal with me. You know that. I know you don't relish being the favorite here, but let's go in like it's Idaho all over again. The Las Vegas line says you're the underdogs by 35. And just do me a favor. If at some point you guys, God willing, are up 52-3 and you're on the 2-yard line of Portland State and you got an opportunity to kneel or bust it in, just remember the spelling bee experience I had, Coach, and you score that touchdown, okay?
I am always putting you guys at the forefront of my thoughts. I hope you know that during all games.
That's right.
What are the boys going to think? And I want you to know I lost my 4th grade spelling bee on the word acquaintance.
Oh,
and,
did you forget the C?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every time I think of that word,
that's right,
I just lose my mind. So, it's going to be, I'm going to have you guys as my acquaintances in my mind during this final approach here for Portland. We're going to get after it.
Love it. We all agree. Screw Victor the Viking. Let's go. That's Coach Tim Plough taking Shredville up to Oregon. Good luck, Coach. We look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, boys. Have a great one.
There you too. And find some joy.
Yeah.
Find joy today.
That's right.
I don't know where she is, but figure it out.
Find her.
It's like Carmen Sandiego. When we come back, De'Aaron Fox joined the Drive guys during Media Day. Don't forget, Monty McNair coming up at 7:28. Kevin Herter at 8 a.m. and so much more. De'Aaron Fox, next.